homage to all the fathers in the room. Let's talk about the system for just a minute. I guess just a little bit. Would it surprise you to know that Kenpo is a grappling system? You know, people keep talking about Gracies and going here, going there to find a grappling answer. Well, Kenpo is a grappling system. If you look at your pushes, or Kenpo pushes, your holds, hugs, locks, all these items that you find within the structure of our technique system, you'll find that they comprise just about 2/3 of what you do. That sounds like a grappling system to me. However, we choose to concentrate on the striking aspect. And because of that, there is a tendency for us not to be very good at those techniques where we have to grapple. I think if you think back in your own mind, the hardest techniques to deal with are the ones where the guy grabs you, the one where he's twisting your arm, the one where he locks you up. We have problems with those because those techniques require very specific principles and concepts in order to deal with them. And those principles and concepts, because we have chosen to concentrate on striking, have kind of like fallen by the wayside. We don't look at it that much. As an example, let's take a very basic technique. Everybody, get ready. Twisted twig. No, get together, twisted twig. Okay? Get ready for twisted twig. Execute. Interesting. One more time. Twisted twig. So let's sing now. Hands up. What up? Also known as lightning in a bottle. Do that for me. Basically, it's just twisted twig. Very fast. You notice that his hand is in front of him. And I noticed that all of you, when you got ready to execute this technique, put your hand in front of you and you execute. But let's think about it for a minute. If a guy's twisting a wrist, if he's trying to do this Aikido hit down, what's he going to do? Is he going to come at you from the front? Or is he going to come at you from the side? Right? If you're going to walk up this kid, all right? That's what's going to happen. So right off the bat, we have to come at it from a different perspective. You're going to be attacked from the flank. You're going to be attacked from the flank. The guy's going to come up, he's going to grab your wrist, he's going to try to do Steven Seagal thing and grab it down. Okay? So this is what I want you guys to do. I'd like everyone to face in this direction. I'd like you to stand shoulder to shoulder. Okay? Shoulder to shoulder, with the front line down. All right. So, now what we're going to do, people on the right side are going to reach over. People on the right side are going to reach over. As he stands there naturally, you're going to take your fingers, wrap them around his thumb, put them in the middle of his hand, and put your thumb on the back of his hand. Okay. Then you're going to take the other hand and mirror it. Boom. Starting to look different already, yeah. Then what I want you to do is I want you to take a step toward the individual, and I want you to take a step out in a twist, and I want you to take that hand and bring it with you, and I want you to put it in your left pocket and push down as you untwist. I want you to do it. Okay, up. Let's do this. Make a little bit more room so we don't bump heads. And if you grab it here, break off, stay. From there, break off, and move down. You guys can move forward. And spread out. Order. All you people, over. Everybody over here, over. Spread down. You people, spread out. Give some room. Okay? Let's do it again. Ready? Reach, mirror, step, twist, bang. Good. Spread out. Give yourself room. Again. Ready? Reach, grab, step, bang. Again. Now let's remember now, do twist and twig, that means someone has got you by the hand already. He's already got you by the hand, and he's attempting to take you down. It's not an attempted grab, it is a grab. Okay? It is an attempt to take down, but it's not an attempted grab. Ready? Grab, both hands, step and twist. Good. I want you to torque that hand, put it in your pocket, and push down. Up! Listen up. Stay with me now. Those who are attacking, grab. Okay, put that other hand on. Get a good grip. Okay? Torque those fingers up in the air. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. Guess what? This is where your technique starts. This is where your technique starts. You got a good grip. As soon, people, as you feel them trying to legitimately take you down, let your technique go. What happened? What happened? It didn't work, did it? It didn't work. Because when a person grabs you, and he knows what he's doing with his hand, and he steps and moves, your balance is already destroyed. How are you going to pick that elbow up? I have this hand on this side of your elbow, and you're trying to bring this up. You're going to rip your own shoulder loose. That's what's going to happen. So, one otherwise you got to think, well, guy's not going to attack me from the front, not unless he's just an idiot. That's the first thing you got to deal with. He's going to attack me from an angle where I do not see him, because that's his element of surprise. A person who practices a grappling art, distance that he practices from is distance forward. He's not going to stand out here and say, I'm going to come and fight you. Whereas this distance is here. So you're not going to make an attack because you get to this distance. Bang! And ram. Do this thing. So you don't have the luxury of putting your hand up and knowing that it's coming from the front. You understand that mind your business. Your hand on the top. Whoa! How do you deal with that? How do you deal with it? Okay, let's give the other side a chance to do the takedown. We balance it out a little bit here. Ready? Grab. Oh, they just got a lot of energy today. Okay, this is the other side now. The other side, the other person. Okay? I want you to reach. Side and thumb, fingers in the palm, thumb on the back of the hand, mirror image with the other hand. Double grab, mirror image. There, grab tight. Fingers up in the air. Okay, push his hand slightly toward him. Take a step. Twist out. Take it down. Okay, good. Again. Ready? Grab. Both hands. Fingers up. Step. Twist. Untorque. Again. Good morning, everyone. Ready? Grab. Fingers up. Step. Torque. Twist. Go. Again. You got it down now. Do it. so that the torque comes from your hip, so that you're not trying to arm the muscle. Okay? I'm using torque from the hips that comes out of this twist stance. That's the reason you go to twist stance. To generate torque, to create torque, or to store torque so that it can be used later. Okay? One more time. Go. Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. What happens when a guy does this, he's bringing me here. I'm trying to step to bring this elbow up. Oh, man. Don't mess me up. Don't mess me up. For sure. So the first thing you want to do, when a person grabs you here, he's trying to elongate his arm. As soon as he brings this up, bring your left foot forward into a neutral bow. What has happened? My elbow is close to my rib cage, and it's now anchored. My arm is no longer elongated. That's the first thing. He brings it up. Go with me. Whoa. Take that step. Do that for me, please. Go. First group. Ready? Stay with me. Stay with me. Foot manipulation is real finite. So stay with me, please. First group is grabbing. Get the hand all the way up to the finger up position. Both hands on it. Defense. Step. Into a neutral bow. Come back. Do it again. Step into a neutral bow. Grab, fingers up, step, neutral bow. Again. Nice. Okay, grab, step. Good. Other side, other group. Ready. Grab. Get those fingers up so they start to feel the pressure. Take that pressure off by stepping. Go. Don't step. Keep stepping. Not you. Ready. Fingers up. Twist. Step. Take the pressure off. Step toward it. Neutral bow. One hand only. You don't need the other hand yet. I'll show you what you do with it. Go. Step toward it. Again. Go. Good. Step directly in front of you. Practice. Both sides practice now. Step out. Much happier. Good. Don't use your other hand yet. Good. I'll tell you what to do. Good. Beautiful. 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 Okay, now, both sides practice? Sir. Good. Now let me show you what to do with that hand. Not this big man. Good on. Side grab. This is what you want to do. When he does that, step on his center line and bring your elbow toward you. Take your left hand, bring it over the top, and just lightly hook his wrist of his left hand. Just hook it slightly. Okay? Because he's trying to take you this way, this is going to prevent that from happening. And let your elbow, your forearm rest lightly on his other arm. Not totally. I'm not even trying. My arms are just resting here, and he no longer can execute this technique. I'm sorry. There it is. Once again, take a step, reach over the top, grab the outside, and let that settle in. You take your hand out. Open into triangle. Okay? Go. Both side practice. And you don't need much strength in it, do you? No, not hardly at all. Works. Good, good. That's all it is. You don't need a lot of strength. But you have to right answer. Take the center line and go. Good. Good. Excellent, excellent. Absolutely excellent. Does it work? Okay, make sure you step toward them. Make sure you do not step beyond your own center line. You don't want to do this across your own center line because now he's behind you. Just go right to him, on his center line, your center line, hook, now the control is there. Is there anybody that's not working for it? Everybody got it? Outstanding. Now, the question is asked, well, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, it's really simple. From here, after I get control, now it's my ball game. What I want you to do is I want you to take this hand and just turn it so the baby finger end is facing toward him. And you won't have any trouble doing that. And what do we do? Take another neutral bow step. Raise your vertical elbows right to the sternum so keep this left hand on the outside. Control that hand. This is a vertical elbow, not an upward. Make sure it's vertical. Once again, he moves. I control. Now I'm on offense. Right. Left hand on the outside. All I did was step straight into him. Another neutral bow. 2 steps. Boom. Okay? Do it, please. Don't let him go, people. Don't let him go. That's it. I want you to control his hands so that he doesn't get away. I'm hitting here because if I hit him here, I'm going to see his chin out. Bam, there's my upper elbow. Push that arm over. See, that's why you want to control this arm here and push it over. Now my target is right here. I did my upper elbow on here. And he's turned away from me. He can't come back. I got the center line. I'm going to strike it. I'm going to strike his groin at an angle. When you hit it at an angle, it's more devastating than if you hit it straight on. Okay? So what do we got? We got step, vertical elbow, upper elbow, push, outer elbow, hammer. Yes, sir. Cross. Go. And he will. Your elbows are tucked at your rib cage. That's the strongest anatomical part that place on your body that your arms can be, and it creates an open-ended triangle. Sound familiar? Let's do it. Ready? Yes, sir. Other side attack with earnestness. Ready? From Brian Hines at 12:30 when this class ends, everybody move the ballroom for a group picture.
Yes, sir.
And that should be interesting. That should be really interesting. Okay, so you see where I'm coming from in terms of grabbing, people grabbing, and how it's the concept of taps that people would come directly at you and grab you from the front. It's probably not very realistic. And that's not to say that the way you're doing the technique is bad, but at the Ed Parker Institute, we tend to think of things in terms not of good or bad. We think in terms of, yeah, that's cool. That's more cool. Oh, that's way cool. So it's about effectiveness. Okay? Not to say that what you're doing isn't effective, but if you can find a way to make it be more effective, then you have to think in those terms, because this is simple. Right? We don't do things one way when we know we can do things better and more effectively. That's contrary to our whole philosophy. So, something to think about. Now, continuing along those same lines, let's look at crossing down. Same principle, isn't it? How you guys practice it? And the guy with your arm in front. Here. Twist my arm. Okay? That's not real. Once again, same thing. What's going to happen is, once again, the same way, the technique, guy comes up, grabs jujitsu-like move. Well, the same thing happens in counter-grappling. He grabs, and what he's getting ready to do is what? This is what he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. If he can do that, then you're done for. You have a technique in your system called entangled wing. I can fix it for you. I guarantee I can fix it for you. Because the way you do it will work, but it will not work a higher percentage enough time for me, in my mind, for me to want to use that particular execution. See, the difference is, would you rather do a technique that works 10% of the time, 20% of the time, or 90% of the time? Obviously, it's like betting horses. You bet the favorite. Okay? Same way with techniques. Better, better, and way better. And that's what you do. Everything you do works. It's a problem. But can we improve upon it? That's what Mr. Parker was about. He was about improving constantly, consistently. If you look at the books that Mr. Parker wrote back in the 50s and 60s, and you compare them to Infinite Insights, you'd have to say, well, this man improved. He moved on. He's not doing Kenpo that he did in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. He left that behind. He moved forward. Some students he left back in the 50s and 60s because they didn't want to continue to train. And that's okay. Because what they were doing was valid in the 60s, it's valid in the 90s. But it may not be as valid in the 90s as it was in the 60s. But it's all good. It's all good. Okay, that's what he's doing. So I want to teach you this attack. I want you to grab the wrist, bring your hand on the inside, and reach up and grab your own forearm as his wrist flexes. The attack for crossing talent is the same as it is for entangled wing. That's the attack. And you can't practice the defense for these techniques unless you know the attack. Because if the guy doesn't know how to attack, how can you defend against it? You're defending against something that's non-existent, and you start to think, oh man. So somebody tries to throw it on you who knows what he's doing, and then all of a sudden you say, well, man, I got a problem with this. So let's work on this. Pair up. Stop for a second, please. My bad. When we do these locks and things, when it hurts, tap out. And if a guy taps out on you, don't necessarily let go of the hold, just ease up the pressure. If he continues to tap, keep easing. If he continues to tap, let him go. If you find yourself in a position where you cannot tap, because we have it happen at the Institute, we have a guy torqued up on the floor and he can't tap. Say, pain! Don't say ouch! Don't say woo, woo, woo! That don't mean anything. Say emphatically, pain! And when he does that, that's the same as a tap. That way, no matter what the circumstance, you will be able to respond to let your training partner know that he is hurting you, okay? Let's do it, go. Same partners? Same old. Okay. Let me point out one thing. Point out one little thing. What I want you to do is I want you to make sure the elbow is in the chest area so that when you pull on his hand, forces oppose each other. If his elbow's down, you just push it down. What we're doing is we're putting pressure on his wrist. That's what we're doing. Okay? Now, if your thumb is in there and you're grabbing, you are splitting your force. Because the thumb is pushing this way, the hand is pushing this way. So they oppose each other. Feel that? Now watch what happens when I take my thumb out without any additional pressure. Feel the difference? Thumb in, takes pressure off, thumb out, more pressure on. Okay, now, grab your own wrist. That's what we're doing. Grab your own wrist. Close everything. thing up. Play that bagpipe. Close it up. Elbow in the chest. Thumb out and pull towards you and slightly down. There's your lock. That's entangled wing. Yeah, and you can get out of that too. You can get out of a guy who puts this on you in entangled wing. Do it. Okay, now, got an interesting situation over here. A little height disparity. A little height disparity. Little women come home. And like, I told you. And you know what we always say, right? Yes, honey. You know it's true. Mr. Parker always told me, he said, I'll never say nothing because no matter what your rank is, it don't work when you sleep. That's true. I'm going to show you how to enhance this. You get that arm up, hit. That takes the opportunity away from him to react. And for those of you who know me and have taken my classes before, you know you're hitting L5. Okay? So that's a disorientation right there, L5. Drop a guy by hitting one pressure point. Okay? So when I do this and I go, oh yeah, ah! That's what I'm he's mine. Oh, my glasses. Sorry. That was a knockout. Cross the forehead. Go! And then we'll get to the defense. Okay, I guess it's time to get to the defense. I apologize for spending so much time on the offense, but hey, when you go back to your school and you practice technique, you must practice realistic attacks. Otherwise, the guy cannot practice his defense. So he's practicing against something that doesn't work. Which means he's not practicing against anything at all. Right? We don't want to send people on the street thinking they have a defense for a technique that they don't have. That's why it's so important. This is for your own well-being, for your own peace of mind. You know the guy, you know his lock, you know what you're doing, and confidence level goes up, and chances are you won't grab him. Okay? This is crossing talent. He's trying to do that. As soon as you feel his hand grab you, what I want you to do is take your hand, put it on top of his hand. Mr. Parker used to describe it like this. When a guy grabs you, let him pray. That's what he used to say. That's your first line of defense. Go. Do it. Your first line of defense. No. Cut back. Okay? Cut back. Go. I love it. Is there anybody who's done it that's not working for you? Okay? I remind you, keep your hands low. Don't bring it up and try to do it. Just keep your hands down there already. Just sit there and keep it low. When you do that, you control his hypomotility. Now the question always comes up, well, can he just punch you? And the answer to that is, yeah, he could have done that before he grabbed you. Okay? He didn't have to come up and grab you. He could have just said, bam, but then that would have been another technique. What kind of technique is that? So if he's coming up to grab you, then that's what you defend against. Right? So if he wanted to punch you, he would punch you. Well, he's not punching, he's grabbing. So for whatever reason, we have to defend against the grab. Boom. Now, from there, he's doing this, I'm pinning his hand. Now when I pin his hand, don't do this way. I want you to pin your left fingers going toward his thumb. Right on top. Like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand, point your fingers up. Right there. And then I want you to push his hand toward his center. Hand, lift, push toward his center. Now you notice how you back it up? The next stage will take care of that. This is what I want you to sit down. Sit down. Now I'm here. Nice brother. Think of the next phase. Oh. Okay. Pin. Up. Center line. Take your fingers and wrap around his forearm. And then flex your fingers on both hands down. I promise. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Flex. This is where the pressure is going. Pressuring down here and pressuring down here. And if I bring that to the center line, bam, he's going to drop. Almost no pressure. Oh. Go. Work. Yes, sir. No, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So you just did a defense called crossing down. But you just did the first part of it. You did the whole thing. At the Institute, crossing town, what we do, we go here, break a guy down first, then we step and go to the rest of the technique. Okay? So now we got something to slow the guy go right now. Bam. Stop right now. Boom. Rolling. Bam. Pop. Drop. Let's see now. Oh yeah, crossing town. Go from there. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do me a favor. Take 1 minute, everybody get a drink of water, and then come right back. Woo. Looking good. Take that like a punch. Bam. And if you get a guy who locks you up, because he can do it just on strength, just lock yourself up. Okay. Resist. Okay? Now I have a sheet. I can take it out of the sheet. You may not have that. This is what you do. Shake it. Because his mind is resisting in one direction. And when you shake it, his mind doesn't know which direction to resist, so he loses it altogether. Right? Give it a shake. Bam. Works every time. Do that, please. Yes. What technique is, am I going to do here? Crossing talons? Okay, someone asked about, well, what if he's really strong? I can't get his arm up. That's a valid question. Not so much valid on one-on-one, free on the hand. Now what technique are we doing? Starting made. See? Everything in the system proves itself. Everything in the system builds itself. So you go from one hand to two hands. Change the circumstance. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to do the same thing? In our minutes, we're trying to get to here. But he's real strong. You go, how can I get my arm up? Keep my arm up. Okay, I'll tell you what. This is how you do it. Okay. One arm against two arms. No. How about this? Drop, anchor your elbow, pin. Now I got two legs against two arms. Okay? Very important for legs. You got your arm. Drop and anchor your elbow and stand up. Your legs are out. Don't put arms in arms. There you go. Okay. Usually people grab you because they have something else in mind. It could be sword and hammer. Believe me, he's not just grabbing you so he can look at you. He's grabbing you because he's going to punch you. He's grabbing you because he's going to something. Okay? The mistake we make striking a person's head is we usually try to do the technique before the guy collapses. Then you're doing the technique for an attempted bear hug, not a bear hug. So when do we learn how to get out of the bear hug? See, that's why it's important that we are forced to deal with the bear hug. Never do a guy like a bear hug and pick up the body. That's what the grabbers the rest of us do. Pick up, body slam, knock you out of it, jump on you, lock you up. And Mr. Park always said, anytime a grabber gets you down on the ground and locks you up, just, you can get him up for sure. You can get him off for sure. Only got to do one thing. One thing, and he will get off of you. What's that? Fight! height, width, and depth sensitive, right? Because if he's here, it's not striking surface area. It's hooking wings or parting wings. It's all these things, right? But once the arms get back here, what is it now? No, the arms are on the inside. But I know what you're thinking, because I thought of it too. But in terms of depth, you're right. So, striking serpent's head, this is what I want you to do. I want you to control his height. He grabs, control his height. Try to get my hand on your shoulder, anchor my elbow, and push down. Grab. Grab. Oh, I know, man. You're just weak. Come on, you're weak, man.
I beat the gym.
Good. Strong brother. Okay? What's the problem? What are you doing down there? What the hell are you doing? What you Wow! Did it look like I was working hard?
Yes, sir.
All I did was control his height. What about his depth? He controls his own depth. Right? Bring the hand on top, control his height zone, he goes down. Don't believe it? Try it. Bring your hand on top, put your hand on your shoulder, anchor your elbow, push down, go. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're having so much fun. Thank you. We're having so much fun. We ran out of time. I'm sorry. I just want to show you that one thing. I did it with the hand. I want you to also know when the guy does it, you can do it with your shoulder. Push down. Boom. 2 hands. Okay, and that's without using the nerves. Okay? I'm sorry. Line up, please. Yes, sir. One of the reasons that I don't usually do these because they are time consuming and we really get into them, and you got to practice both sides to make it realistic. I apologize for burning up your time. Believe me, I had to go to the Thank you. We got to go over here, take the picture. After the picture, I'll be in the lobby or I'll come back over here, whatever. Okay? If you got to check out, make sure you check out. But I'm going to be around for the rest of the day. So I'm going to hang out, ask some questions, or just shoot the breeze. Ed and I are always waiting for that. That's why we're here. We're here for the old man's heart. Feet together. Down. Up. Get something to say? You like something pointy? No. We send people out from the Institute for seminars. If you're interested in holding a seminar or something in your area, feel free to contact us. I got the business cards in my briefcase. I'll give you one. We love to do these things. We absolutely love to do it. So, if you got something going you want us, give us a call. We'll work it out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Great.